Okay. Well, my name's Jerry Donaldson. I want to welcome everybody here. All you Texans, raise your hands, scream, yell. Now, I believe we got a bunch of buses that are supposed to show up soon, but we're going to have to kick this off now because we know that MoveOn.org is supposed to show up right after us. Any comments there? All right. I'm going to take this off because I work better. Okay. Everybody knows that this is a sovereignty or secession rally. Now, what does that mean, folks? I'm going to tell you something right now. Sovereignty equals liberty. Remember that. Just over 233 years ago, our American founders sought to regain their sovereignty from Great Britain. When King George refused to comply with their petitions to redress their grievances and restore their God-given unalienable rights, those colonists from the 13 colonies joined together to secede from Great Britain. I've had a lot of people that have called in on my radio show, Our Constitution, Foundation, and Principles. Also the ResistNet show. People recognize me from as the Central Texas Director for Grassfire.org ResistNet. I'm on every group out there. Believe me, I get about 1,600 emails a day. Okay? Now, when we formed this nation, we call the United States of America, we did regain our sovereignty. That's what I want to get across to you. You see, the fact is, the sovereignty, we talk about state sovereignty. It's about who controls things. Who is the government here? We are. The fact is, we have sovereignty. Who controls things? We are the government. We have public representatives, public servants that are supposed to take care of our wishes. Well, that hasn't been happening, has it? Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to read this directly from you, from John Adams. Government is instituted for the common good, for the protection, safety, prosperity, and happiness of the people, and not for profit, honor, or private interest of any one man, family, or class of men. Therefore, the people alone have an incontestable, unalienable, and indefeasible right to institute government and to reform, alter, or totally change the same when their protection, safety, prosperity, and happiness require it. Now, I've told people quite often, because what I was saying is that when people were talking about secession, they go, oh, no, it's like it's a four-letter word. And I'm going, no, 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 no. We seceded from Great Britain. It's in our Declaration of Independence to alter or abolish. We have that right. Now, that is what we've been talking about. We've been pushing this. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. We're not alone. We're not the only state doing this. Since we put up this petition, which has just happened just a few weeks ago, imagine this. Not only have we got people from all over the state, over 222 out of 254 counties have signed this petition and are taking it to their courthouse. Understand that. We've almost got the entire state. Now, on top of that, thank you. Yeah, thank everybody out there that's been signing this petition. If you haven't signed it, we've got copies of it floating around. I want to make sure you sign it. We'll type it in. We're going to get it together, and we're going to get it to Governor Perry. I'm going to get to him in just a minute. Now, we maintain these principles of liberty and our sovereignty fairly closely in those first years. I want you to get this history in your mind, especially after the election of Thomas Jefferson in 1800. Until about 1830, we kept it really close to those principles of sovereignty, we the people being sovereign, and our government public servants being servants instead of trying to be our masters. This went pretty well for a while. But after about 1830, things started changing. This big nationalist government, if you've heard my Our Constitution show, you've heard me talk about Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton. That was Jefferson's his arch nemesis. They fought with each other right and left because he wanted a big national government and a big debt. Does it look like Thomas Jefferson got his way or Hamilton did? Yeah, unfortunately that's right. The fact is that at that time, that's when people started moving, guess where? Here in Texas. people started moving to Texas. One of the most famous, of course, we talk about quite regularly, is Davy Crockett. He was a frontiersman, of course, politician, and a folk hero. Now, the fact is, he served 3 terms in the U.S. Senate, U.S. Congress, that is. 2 terms as a Democrat, and then as a Whig, which became the Republican Party. Now, when he came into that, he realized what was happening. Even back then, we're talking 1835, folks. In 1835, he went into that Congress and he says, "You can all go to hell. I'm going to Texas." There's a reason for that. We've got these images in our mind, and believe me, this is not just here. You know, we've got somebody out here right now that's a French reporter flown in to film this, because this is going everywhere. They're seeing this going on in Europe. The fact is, we've got people from all over the country. Yeah, give them a hand. Let them know what it's like. We're filming this, folks, so we want y'all to be out on this film. Okay?
No more tyranny!
Absolutely. No more tyranny. Okay. Now, Representative Leo Berman, you might have seen me here on the stage with him, and this was in Memorial Day. Then we spoke together at the rally in Tyler. And right here he said, number 1, we're going to stop socialism right where it is, and we're going to roll this country back 233 years. Now, Leo Berman was going to be here today, but I'm going to tell you, and he has a totally legitimate reason. His wife just got out of breast cancer surgery. He's taking care of her right now. But he wanted to send a message to you, and so I told him I'd read it for him. Okay? Socialism, like communism, cannot survive unless the proponents first get rid of God. Recall, however, that after 80 years of communism, people flocked to the churches and asked Jesus to bless them when communism fell. In our case, God is still with us, and He's still the rallying point for all of us to stand fast and fight this socialist president and all his czars who have forgotten that freedom comes only from God. Without God, without God, we will lose our freedom. We are fighting against things called Obamacare, cap and trade, gun control, etc. But these are just titles to hide Obama's real goal, total control of our lives. I'll never forget Patrick Henry's statement, "Give me liberty or give me death." I'll fight to the death for our constitutional rights and our state sovereignty. God bless you all for steering the same course and for being here today. That's from Leo Berman. Give me your thanks. Now, Representative Brandon Creighton was one of the authors of H.C.R. 50, our sovereignty bill. Now, it has passed the House with a supermajority. Now, that's a good thing. I spoke with him last week on a conference call, and he had originally intended to be here, just like Governor Perry was going to be here. I don't see him here now. Now, here's my take on it, folks. My take on it is this. Politicians want to kind of go with the wind and the tide and try to avoid these kind of conflicts. We cannot allow them to do that anymore. No more can we allow this. We're going to get our sovereignty one way or the other. Either we're going to step right up and the federal government's going to roll everything back 233 years, as this petition says. We get all of our unalienable rights and we put them back in that box we call the Constitution, our contract with government. If they refuse, if they do not comply with this request, we are left with no other option, folks. And that is to call the governor, to have the governor call for a vote for secession now. We have no other choice. If they don't give us that, if they do not comply with their own oath, what can we expect out of them now? I'm sorry, folks, but that's the honest truth. Now, here's something I'm going to talk about. Now, Governor Perry was going to be here, then he had a conflict. Can you tell me about anything that would be more important than Texas sovereignty? Yeah, let's hear the excuse. I love it. The fact is that no, there is no excuse. There is no excuse. We have to do